In today's devlog, we're taking a look at the top 10 new items that we have added to Billy's Nightmare. Starting at number 10, we have the Queen Bee. When Billy has this item and takes damage, he will spawn a swarm of angry bees that chases enemies. This is basically the bee grenade ability converted into an item. But it's always a fun bonus to get this effect for free anytime you take damage. At the moment, it's the exact same amount of bees that spawn. But since this effect only occurs here and there, it might be fun to spawn a lot more of them. At number 9, we have the boxing gloves. This item increases the knockback of your attacks by 100%. Knockback might not sound like an important stat to boost, but it can actually be quite useful on the second floor on every level. This way, it's very easy to push enemies down into the lava pits, which kills them instantly. So, if you position yourself properly, this item could give you a lot of one-shot kills. At number 8, we have the Cool Vest. This item causes enemies around Billy to get frozen solid when he takes damage. Our idea is that this would be like a combat vest, but instead of ammo, it's equipped with ice packs, making it a cool vest instead. Then these ice packs would freeze attackers when Billy takes damage. This can be very useful if you find yourself trapped in a corner of a room and have to pass through lots of enemies to get out of there. If you end up taking contact damage from one of them, they will all get frozen, allowing you to run away without taking any more damage. And speaking of contact damage, at number 7 we have the Security Blanket, which reduces contact damage from enemies by 75%. If you are a player who easily panics and forget to dive roll through enemies, this item will help you stay alive. Since contact damage is one of the most uncommon ways you can take damage in Billy's Nightmare, our first idea was to allow the Security Blanket to remove contact damage completely. But we realized that this could cause a lot of game-breaking bugs. We were afraid that certain bosses wouldn't be able to damage you if you could stand inside their bodies during the whole fight without taking any damage. So, by keeping 25% of the damage, you're still encouraged to avoid standing too close to enemies and bosses. At number 6, we have another item that helps you stay alive. And it's the Bicycle Helmet, which gives Billy a 20% chance to block incoming damage. Our first idea was that the Bicycle Helmet would act as a secondary type of health, like armor. It would save you from damage once, and then fall off your head. But this way, you would feel forced to always return to the shop to buy new helmets all the time. Otherwise, you would be at a disadvantage without that extra armor. And that's pretty boring game design. Plus, since no other item had a one-time use, we simply changed the Bicycle Helmet to always give you a random chance to protect you instead. At number 5, we have the Sunscreen 2000. When Billy has this item in his inventory, he no longer takes damage from falling into lava. We knew that we wanted an item with this effect, but we also wanted it to have some child logic behind it. In a child's mind, sunscreen protects you from getting burned by the sun. So, by cranking up the sunscreen factor by a lot, it would of course protect you against getting burned by lava as well. Hence the name Sunscreen 2000. This item is very useful on the second floor of all levels, where you constantly are at risk of falling into lava pits during combat, or maybe even while backtracking without being cautious. At number 4, we have the Woolen Socks. Taking contact damage while having this item saps enemies around Billy with static electricity. We knew that we wanted some kind of item that deals damage back to enemies after taking contact damage from them. So it felt like a fun idea to use woolen socks with static electricity for this.
Ow! Damn it, Peter, stop it!
And since this item is only activated on contact damage, which doesn't occur that often, it felt okay to boost its damage and make it pretty powerful. This effect could also be used on purpose, in combination with a security blanket. By taking 75% less contact damage, you could use this item to damage large groups of enemies without losing that much health yourself. At number 3, we have the Pocket Watch. This item has a 10% chance to reset all your cooldowns when an enemy is killed. Since it's only a 10% chance, it doesn't occur that often. But if you kill a lot of enemies at once with an ability that has big AoE damage, you get a pretty high chance to reset its cooldown, allowing you to use it again instantly. So this item can make you very powerful, depending on if you're lucky or not. At number 2, we have the Pliers, which increases tooth drop chance by an additional 10%. By default, enemies have a 66% chance to drop a tooth when they die, which is a pretty high chance, but we knew that we needed some kind of item to boost this chance to make it even higher. And it felt pretty obvious to make this item a pair of pliers, because children are afraid of dentists using pliers to pull out their teeth. So by having this item, enemies instead get a 76% chance to drop a tooth when they die. And at number 1, we have the Cursed Doubloon. With this item in your inventory, killing an enemy has a 10% chance to summon a friendly ghost, which will fight for you for 10 seconds. Since we really like our new guardians, we wanted to add an item that spawns some kind of temporary guardian that only helps you for a few seconds. So it seemed like a good idea to spawn a friendly ghost from dead enemies. The ghost can't take damage from any attacks, because, well, it's a ghost and already dead. So it's very useful to have the ghost take aggro from a lot of enemies without any risk of dying. But it would of course be too overpowered if the ghost would never disappear, and you would end up with a huge army of ghosts that kills everything for you. So to balance things out, the ghost will only help you for 10 seconds before disappearing. These numbers can of course be tweaked, depending on if it's more fun to have a high chance of spawning a ghost that lasts for a short time, or a low chance to spawn a ghost that lasts for a longer time. We'll have to test and see. We really like the effects of these new items, but their names and sprites are not set in stone. If we can make them look and sound more like something from a child's imagination, that would be great. So, we'd love to get some feedback from you guys. So, what do you think about our new items? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.